Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are currently in debt, unfortunately. We're going to tick on forward here. We do need to get our stability up at some point. It's going down by a pretty hefty amount, actually, and this is painful for our population happiness, for sure. How much do we need to perform a divine sacrifice? Actually, we can do it now. Do it. So that'll at least keep our stability from slipping further down, right? We do need to let our war exhaustion and our aggressive expansion drop off. Our tyranny dropping is actually kind of not good for us right now. We don't really want our tyranny to drop, actually. It's a kind of awkward situation, to be sure. So we do have our debt that's going to be going away very soon. And yeah, we're losing half of our political influence because we're in deficit. That's painful. No doubt about that. A gift from the gods. Okay, well, we're no longer in debt. And now we can go over to Confluentia. And we can certainly put in a training camp there. Now, we're already building a fortress and 2 mills here. So we now need to get those constructions complete. That should finish this mission once those constructions are done. So that'll be great. We can also get back to work building roads, which we would be delighted to do. We're just going to make our way up over here as we were before. I think we'll just make our way around like this. We make sure to have a connection here. And then from there, let's just go to our capital and then down to here. Cool. So we should definitely be able to construct at this rate. No doubt about that. Approval from Democrats. The civic rights of the Celtiberian culture is set to citizen. That's probably okay. Sure. So we're gaining 0.2 stability per month now. That's actually a big swing. What changed there? Yeah, I mean, we're doing the divine sacrifices. There's a big decay swing. Maybe the decay wasn't properly calculating since I had just started up the game. That's a possibility, actually. So we're going to finish up these constructions up over here. We would love to build additional settlement buildings, but there just aren't any that are worth building for right now. So we're going to be banking up political influence, building roads, and this'll do for the moment. The envy of Rome, huh? Gaining 5 tyranny is actually good. But we don't actually want to fight Rome. That wouldn't be good. We're going to gain some tyranny, and that'll be the way to go. Excellent. So it'll be a bit before all of these constructions up here are done. No doubt about that. Particularly this one. Well, actually, that's not going to be that bad, is it? We just got a breakthrough. That gives us an innovation. What were we working towards? We were working towards cohorts. Right, we could go either this direction or this direction, and I think we'll go Manipular Legion for now. Fantastic. And the party leader of the oligarchs just died. Okay. Well, I hope that she has fun with that whole death thing. That's not how death works. That's not usually a fun thing, but sure. So we're definitely losing a good amount of AE. Our stability is growing now, and we're not going to do another divine sacrifice, but that's still very, very solid. We're losing a lot of population happiness between war exhaustion and stability, though, and we definitely need to continue to chill. There's no doubt about that one. So supplying over here does, of course, require that we get an additional trade route here. And we'll have to change this around. It's currently importing woad, which isn't necessarily what we want for our mission. But we'll change that around soon enough. Prosperity. Actually, we're going to gain the stability here. Stability is very, very good. So there we go. Okay, so this is still going to take a bit to build. 78 days on the forum, plus we've got a training camp beyond that. Checking in at each of those, that seems fine. Checking in here, we could actually... What are we at right now for our tech? 143.4. We really probably should put in an additional library here then. Cool. So that sounds good. We'll get that underway. This would, of course, be a tax office. And I wish there was a map mode to see cities specifically. That would be a very convenient thing. Maybe there is somewhere, but I don't know where it would be at. We definitely want to get some cities going eventually, but we'll need political influence for that. We know we have a city out here. We have one here. And in fact, we could certainly put in a library there. That would not be a bad idea. Okay. Hordes invading are probably not a problem for us. Yeah, that's over in Bactria. That's really not a problem for us at this moment. We have a great temple and a grand theater over here in this city. That's kind of an awkward setup, isn't it? What do we produce here? We produce dyes. That does give additional local noble happiness. Maybe we should just put an academy in here and call it good. So that seems reasonably okay. Up over this direction, we are maxed out city-wise. This is a city here. We don't quite have the gold. Oh, this is a really wacky city. Okay, I don't know what we're going for with these buildings. That's an exciting one. Sure. The Armenian Civil War has ended, and she can cover the costs. Cool. I do want to come up over here to this city, and we need to think about what we want this to be. There's 7 Freeman pops here right now. So having this be a manpower city is maybe not a terrible idea. That would be a bit before we'd have the cash to make a forum. We could simply put in a training camp, but I think a forum would be the way to go. So yeah, 152 gold there. That's going to take some time. We are making good progress on these road constructions here. No doubt about that. Getting this main thoroughfare built here is going to be a very important thing, of course. And hey, there we go. There's our mission done. So supplying out over here is going to be... Actually, we can do it now. We have a free province investment. I don't know when we got this. We didn't have it a few minutes ago when we looked at this. I'm pretty sure. We must have gotten it from our tech. It wouldn't have been from grabbing this. But maybe from our breakthrough? I'm not sure where we got it from. But it just recently popped in, and we're very happy about that. So we're going to put in a free province investment. That's wonderful. It's going to take a little bit of time. For sure. But that's okay. So we're waiting for our next payment here. And maybe even one after. Before we get this done. Because we should be almost okay with the next payment. In theory. Almost okay. Yeah, we should be fine. So we'll get that going. Beautiful. So we do want to make more cities, absolutely. There's a lot of city making that we need, but supplying this over here is definitely something that we'll do. And then these are all land acquisitions, which we're not quite ready to do yet. Our war exhaustion is down below half, which is good, and our aggressive expansion is continuing to drop reasonably quickly here. But we've got a ways to go on that. We also need a bunch more manpower, and this legion could certainly be expanded a little bit more. We're at 12 out of 13. We could consider getting another set of siege engineers here. Or expanding out our light cavalry. Maybe. Yeah, expansion of our light cavalry is probably not the worst concept, but I'd rather do it evenly, so I think we're going to wait until this is at 14. Okay, cool. So that's absolutely fine. Down over this direction, we have a lot of forts, but I'm not too concerned about that. Up over in Segovia, we can now import in... We just need food, right? Grain, vegetables, salt, fish, livestock. Okay. So we would import in grain... And then we cancel this route for now. And we'd import in grain again. That should finish the mission. Might have to wait for a month tick. Oh, we need 2 or more of the resources. I think I read this wrong. I think we need 2 separate resources here. So then we would bring in, say, salt. Yeah, that does it. Okay, so now we can get that done, and actually I want to immediately just cancel these routes. Boom. Okay, and we'll let this auto-import whatever it wants. So that'll be fine. That mission is now complete, and yeah, that's acquiring additional locations, acquiring, and acquiring. So we need to attack up over here, is the next move. Keeping an eye on this situation is kind of awkward, but it's not the end of the world. So we definitely want to continue to work on getting some pops over here, right? Specifically citizen or noble pops. Noble pops would be the best way to go. So that's all looking good. Can we see, let's see, we should be able to go into our macro builder and look at city buildings, right? So we could build libraries in, okay, we now know that we have a location in Galicium, in Alces, and down over here as well. I didn't realize this was a city. This is another one of those awkward ones. Does this give population growth? No. Does an aqueduct? It gives pop capacity and migration attraction, I suppose. I'm thinking about what we want to construct there. There's not much for pop right now. We could just build a forum, I suppose. Now, we do have a risk of rebellion up over here. That's just this location. I don't really care too much about that. That's not a problem. Other locations that we could potentially build city buildings in, we know that there's one out over here. This is currently set up as a slave location. Okay, so the granary structure is going to have to be torn down. And we would end up building 2 additional mills here. We don't have the cash for it immediately. We're going to continue to grab the assimilation speed. We know that we need more assimilation. So that's reasonably fine for now. Our road connecting our 2 longest routes, or rather our 2 longest sides of our empire from each other is nearly complete at this point. So that's looking very, very good. And then we're going to start building some more involved road structures once we get that done. But at least here we can move from here to here relatively quickly, right? That's the idea here. But I do want to build some border roads and then some fill-in roads. With only 1 unit, it does get a bit slow. No doubt about that. We can grab a military tradition here. And what do we want? Actually, Found City cost modifier is reasonably nice. The territory of Titulcia would gain a fortress. But it's currently capped. Would it actually gain a fortress? It did. It's at 16 out of 15. Okay. I guess that's fine. We'll leave it there for now. 2 levels of fort in our capital is not the worst thing in the world. So that'll do. We're continuing to construct down this direction. And once this is done, I want to make sure that we have like a triangle structure here. And then I want to build along this river, which is kind of awkward. We're actually not hitting this location. Sure. But then we can build something kind of like that, which is quite awkward. And then build just along this border for the time being. And make sure that we are connected up over this direction, right? So something kind of like that would work fine. And then we can think about what we want to do inside of here. So we're just kind of, we're kind of turning these into sectors at this point is what's happening. And then we're just going to kind of do roads between the sectors. A road here would actually be good, like a triangle here. And then a connection up this direction. Yeah, we'll come back to that. That's going to take a while for that to build. So I'm not too concerned about that. We did just get a religious innovation there. Grabbing multidiscipline training would be reasonably fine. Do we want to grab Strategic Academy? I think not right now. That might be a thing we want in the future. But I want to make our way down. Well, that discipline is really good, right? I want to grab basically everything over on this branch. Sure, that's fine. I want to grab basically everything over on this branch, and then we really probably do want to start grabbing these supply limits. And Loyalty of Generals would be good too. Army movement speed would be amazing. Iberian Cavalry give us heavy cavalry offense and defense. That's interesting. We chose light cavalry because of our traditions. But this invention here does help matters a bit. And this is heavy cavalry discipline here. That might, once we get those, that might tick it over. So we do need a new oratory researcher here. We'll put you in. Perfect. And the rival of the governor of Lusitania is currently disloyal. I don't I don't care about that. I really, really don't. So we're just going to make our way through here, and we'll get all of this set up, and then we'll just work on constructing roads in this little area for the time being. And then we can think about roads here. Really, all we would need is to connect in this settlement. Yeah, so I would run a road like this, and possibly one down towards the sea, like that. A bountiful harvest, so 3 stability or a bunch of gold. We're actually going to take the stability here. Yeah, she's not happy. Okay, so we did just get our civic advances there. We're certainly going to grab retirement opportunities to reduce our legion maintenance cost by 5%. Magnificent. How are we doing on our tech anyway? We're currently 42 years ahead of time. Okay, that's doing pretty well. That's doing pretty well. That's probably why we had such an easy time against Carthage, honestly. Our tech is doing very, very well here. That guy died? Okay, sure. I wonder what all is going to happen with this war. That's going to be interesting, for sure. We have this exclave here that I'd like to deal with. And we also have a fair amount of border gore right now. Sure, I guess we'll get that beautiful temple. We have this border gore up here that I'd like to get dealt with, but for the time being, I really do want to let our aggressive expansion and war exhaustion drop. Will it be about the same time that they hit 0? I don't know. We'll see. But we certainly do want to let that drop. How long are we truced with Carthage for, anyway? Carthage is currently at war. Are we truced with Carthage? We're not truced with Carthage. How are they doing with that war? They're winning it pretty handily. Okay. I probably don't want to tempt fate by attacking Carthage immediately, especially when we've got all of this construction going on that we're trying to do, right? 10 tyranny for 20 political influence is pretty cool, actually. We'll take that. We do, of course, need a new governor up over this way. We'll put this guy in. Cool. So no problems there right now. Now, as far as the rest of this goes, sure, we'll give you your prominence. As far as the rest of this goes, we got oratory and martial advances. Okay, we keep getting interrupted. That's fine. We're going to grab elite recruitment standards. That gives us heavy infantry discipline, as well as more starting experience. And I think now we're going to go for experience decay. We're now very, very close to cohorts, but we're not going to get another advancement for a while. I think religious is our fastest growing, and that's currently 6 years away. So yeah, that's going to be a bit before we get that, but that is going to give us access for freely raising legions, which is kind of huge. Kind of huge. Now, our actual military tech over here isn't very progressed, right? But that's fine. For the time being, I'm not too concerned about that. We do need to start thinking about making some gains up over this way. And that would definitely be something worth doing. Lusitania Meridionalis, huh? We could definitely move this over to harsh treatment, and this would be fine. So no more problem there. That's okay for the moment. So as we finish up over this way, I want to think about heading over here and then setting up a structure of roads that goes kind of like this and then comes down this way like that. Beyond that, do we need anything else? I don't want to kill a slave pop. Sure. Beyond that, do we need anything else over here? Arguably, we should probably consider having a connection here. And then, of course, this connection down here that we had spoken of, this triangle structure here. So it would end up being something kind of like this. At least for now. We might build something over here. I was thinking that there's quite a route around here, and we might want to have something over this way as well. But for now, I think this will do. Yeah. For now, this is fine. We can address that later if we really, really want to. And we might well do that. We might just come back over here, actually. Yeah, let's just queue that up. So that would be coming over here and then going like that. Yeah, and then from there, we can get this done. So what would this end up looking like? Well, this would be very, very basic. We'd do something like this. I would like to head this direction and then come back and also head this direction, like that. Then I don't think we need anything else over here. So we then return and then connect right up like this. Just something along those lines for now. That would do. Cool. So we need to get a lot more roads built, no doubt about that, but that's going to be basically this half of our empire done. So that's wonderful. I'm very pleased about that. Let's check in on our levy, or rather our legion size. Still 13, noted. Wow, these guys are hard losing. I didn't actually expect them to be losing like this. I thought that they would win this. That is going really poorly for them. Okay. Well, whatever. That's completely fine. So we're going to hit 0 aggressive expansion and war exhaustion relatively soon. I'm going to let that continue to tick down for a bit yet. I want to consider going back to war possibly after we have finished these roads. Possibly. We're definitely doing much better on our manpower. Our manpower has recovered nicely. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, they didn't quite full annex, but these guys have very little left. That's exciting stuff. That allows us to consolidate a huge amount of territory here in a single war. What do these guys have for allies? Nothing. Now, we don't have any missions to come out over here. Actually, we do, don't we? We have a mission to do... There's some of that there. Oh, this is kind of awkward. We're going to have to pick a side, potentially? Or no, we don't actually have to. We can just go straight down to Triumph in Galicia. Prestige and popularity. So essentially this would be picking which family we want. I think we'd not pick a side. Or no, we have to? We have to. Well, we'll see what that ends up looking like. Cool. So I want to continue to build our road here, and once we get this section of road done, which is fairly extensive, to be sure, but once we get this section of road done, we can think about building ourselves a bit of expansion up here. That would be the idea. So that's all looking good. Let's take a look at what we can build city-wise. Oh, wow, no, that's fortresses. Hang on, aqueducts. So... Gallicum and Alces. Okay. Military modernization is interesting. Gaining 5 aggressive expansion. But this would allow us to immediately... Hang on. Can now switch to and from the final law in the military reforms category. In both cases. This would get us 5% discipline, which we probably want. The bad effects here are temporary. The good effects are permanent. So I want to take a quick look here. If we were to go into our laws, military modernization, we would still need cohorts, right? I'm pretty sure we would. I'm pretty sure we would. Let's embrace the reforms. We're going to have some bad events here. Wait, did that just move us to military modernization straight up? It did indeed. Now that's interesting. Now we can think about raising additional legions. Now, none of these legions would be on their own large enough at this time to be able to construct roads. They could only be a cap of 4. And actually, this is 12 out of 9 at this moment, so that definitely needs some work. No doubt about that. So for now, we're not going to raise any additional legions. And we'll just let these guys continue to work away. So that looks fine. We could think about hiring mercs to do more road build. That's very expensive. We know that it costs 50 per tile. That's a lot. No doubt about that. Our war exhaustion is the more important number here. That's for sure. We're only going to build a couple of roads here before we walk mostly on existing roads over to here. Yeah, we're actually going to move pretty quickly through this portion. We're very close to having this road construction project done on this side of our empire. We've not really started on this side yet, but we'll get there. Cool. So now we're going to build this road, and then we'll walk all the way over here without doing any road build, so we'll move there quite quickly. And then we'll just build these roads up over this way. Yeah, that won't be too long. Cool. With that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to finish up this road project over here on this side of the Empire, and then, ooh, I'm wishing that I had queued up a road here. We'll see about that. Next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atalet, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kintogan, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.